Hello everyone, this is Brian with Zimco and I'm back again today. Today I'm going to be doing a review for you guys on the Silky Yoki Chopper. Now, I've been trying to test this thing out for a long time, but where I live is not exactly an easy place to test it. Unfortunately, I do live in kind of a rural city type area, and you're not allowed to exactly go out to parks and chop on things. So it's kind of hard for me to test this thing out, but I finally managed to get some good testing in on it and be able to give you guys a good, honest, and accurate video. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and start this thing out, but before I do this review, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe. And, as always, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know how we're doing. We really appreciate it, and we try to respond to all the comments that we can. So let's go ahead and get into the review itself. When you purchase it, this is what you're going to get. This is your Silky Yoki. The sheath we're going to go ahead and start out with first because we always do. The sheath itself is obviously a nylon coated plastic. It is very durable. As far as nylon sheaths go, I actually really like this one. I'm not even going to bother trying to replace it. It is a good overall sheath. It does have some nice buttoning all the way up here to make sure everything is nice and riveted together. Makes it very nice, very durable. I don't feel like this thing is going to fall apart on me. You do have a belt loop here, and you have a handle lock there, although with this particular item, you don't need it. Because of the way this is designed, you'll see here in just a second, you really don't need anything around the handle. But basically to remove it, you unclip this. The only problem I have with this sheath is I wish this piece here was a snap closure instead of Velcro, but it works. It certainly isn't bad. I prefer snaps. So there's your sheath. It does have a hole up here that lines up with the hole in the Yoki, so that you can hang it upside down if you want. But keep in mind, if you do hang it like that, whatever you hang it with is going to go through this hole, through the hole in the Yoki, and out the other side. So you won't be able to pull the Yoki out if you have something through that hole. But this is the Yoki itself. Let's go ahead and get into some of the stats for you guys. It is a K4 high carbon Japanese tool steel. It is a very good, high quality tool steel. I have had no issues with it whatsoever. It does have a hardened chromium coating to it, which means that, or not chromium, I believe it's nickel, a hardened nickel coating, which adds to the corrosion resistance. Unlike painted or blued coatings, which do tend to come off over time, I've had no issues with this one coming off and causing rust spots. So I really do like the coating that they put on here, that hardened nickel. It is 270 millimeters in length, and it is 2.5 millimeters thick. So it is not a particularly thick spine, but it does do exactly what it needs to do. It adds that strength, and with the K4 tool steel, you really don't need it to be ultra thick in order to gain the strength you're looking for. But let's go ahead and do the handle now. The handle is made out of rubberized material. I don't know exactly what the material is, but it is very tacky. It has a tacky feel to it, and that feel doesn't just come when it's hot outside. It's tacky all the time, and it locks your hand really well, and it doesn't feel like it's going to come out at any point in time. It gives you a really good, strong grip, and even when it's wet or raining outside, it has that wonderful, strong grip. Let's go ahead and see if I can show you. Nope, not going to be able to do it. But it has engraved along the side here, it has Silky Yoki, made in Japan, the lot number. Now, Silky does advertise this as a chopping implement. It is considered a chopping tool by them. A combination, they say, between an axe and a hatchet, where it has the durability of that you need for an axe. Or no, not an axe and a hatchet, an axe and a machete. Now, it is not thin like a machete. It is significantly thicker than most machetes, so it is not going to have the same kind of slicing capability that a machete would have. But at the same time, it's thick enough to still chop with, but still thin enough to be useful as a machete. So for those of you looking to maybe purchase this for a bug out bag or a chopping tool, I would definitely, if you're looking for a strictly chopping tool, I would definitely purchase the Silky Nata instead. And I do have a video for you guys. You can find the link in the description where I go ahead and do a review on the Silky Nata. And that is a much better chopping tool, or a bug out chopping tool, survival purposes or anything like that, than this will be. This is more like a, you know, jack of all trades, master of none type of situation. It can chop, it can act as a machete, but it's not particularly good at both. You know, it's not a machete, it's not an axe, it's a combination tool, and because of that, it can do both, but it's not the best at either one. So purchasing this is definitely going to be, you know, if you already have a chopping tool and you want something, you know, like a machete that is going to be more durable than a machete, then this is going to be the tool that you're looking for. But in all honesty, I would have to say that I would purchase over this, if you're doing a bug out bag, I would purchase the Nata over this. After testing both of them myself, I can say that the Nata simply performed better for chopping, which is what you're going to do most of the time in a survival or bug out situation. If you are purchasing this primarily for home use, I would say this is going to be a good tool because of the fact that it is designed more like a bush axe. And for those of you guys who don't know what a bush axe is, a bush axe is basically an axe that's designed for chopping small limbs, vines up against trees, things of that nature. And that's why it has this bill here, because when you're chopping up into a tree trying to make sure that you get the branches out, you don't want to chop at the edge of your blade and have it swing down and end up cutting yourself in the leg. So having this bill here helps to hook onto the branches when you're chopping, so you can use more force and you're not as afraid of missing that branch, clipping it, and coming back down on yourself. So basically what you're doing is you're chopping like this and you're getting that good connection, even if you're up as high as you can reach. And that's the point of the bill. So there are definite advantages to using this for certain tasks, like, you know, clearing a camping site, for example. This would definitely be the tool you want to use. The Nata simply is not capable of chopping down particularly thin items, especially not vines or branches that are low to the ground, or small trees, things of that nature. It's definitely a heavier, more rugged chopping tool, I would use more so for trees or processing firewood. So if you are looking for something like this, that is a multi-capable tool, but might not be able to do batoning or heavy, you know, dried wood cutting, this is definitely going to be a tool you want to look at. I would have to say I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, and the only reason I'm gonna say 4 out of 5, durability is there, it does exactly what it says it's gonna do. The reason I'm giving it a 4 is because they advertise it as a chopper. I mean, it's in the name. It's the Silky Yoki Chopper. And I would expect, if it was labeled as a chopper and stated that it was a combination between an axe and a machete, that it could handle chopping a bit better than it does. Like I said, it doesn't do dried wood. If it's dry, you might as well not even try. It doesn't chop particularly well. It will get through it eventually, but it takes a lot more work than I would particularly be interested in doing. As far as chopping small limbs, it does just fine. I'd say it acts more like a machete in that regard. In that smaller limbs, you know, the size of your pinky, stuff like that, it goes through without a problem. And especially really small limbs, I find it just like a machete, it just slices them the first time you swing. So I would call this more of a machete that is capable of chopping if necessary. I do like it. It is a tool that I like to bring with me from time to time, especially if I'm going to new campgrounds. But it is not something that I would highly recommend, like I would highly recommend the Silky Nata. I love that tool. Now I'm not going to be able to demonstrate this for you today because, like I said, it's not exactly easy to get out and test this. It was hard enough just getting enough testing done with it, and I'm not going to be going out camping or anything anytime soon, especially not in a place where I can use this. So I'm going to have to go ahead and just kind of do an explanation review for you guys right now. And if at some point I do find the ability to actually do a video demonstrating it, I will certainly do that and give an update for you guys on it. But as of right now, unfortunately, you're just going to have to take my word for it. So let's go ahead and do a quick little overview for you guys. Made from K4 tool steel, 270 millimeters long, 2.5 millimeters thick. It does have, I think I actually forgot to tell you guys about this, it does have a removable rubber handle so that you can actually get up and clean underneath the handle and get the tang nice and clean, so you don't have to worry about rusting issues. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys about that. Neat little feature. So K4 tool steel, 270 millimeters in length, 2.5 millimeters in thickness. Does great on dried wood and small branches and limbs. Does not do well for batoning or chopping on dried wood. It will baton and it will chop dried wood, but keep in mind it is not designed for that, and it doesn't do a particularly good job at that. If you want that, if that's what you're looking for, more of an axe, then you should definitely get the Silky Nata, which is a traditional Japanese axe. It is an awesome tool. I highly recommend it. Go ahead and look at the link in the description, watch that video, and you'll see why. But this right here, Silky Yoki, and I think that's going to be the end of the review. But thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Bye-bye.